Always Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I would like to welcome you into our kitchen this evening for part 2 of Biscotti making day. Now, this recipe is for all my friends who are tea lovers, for the Owls family who like their tea instead of coffee. Now, this biscotti has a twist to it. You don't have to use all the ingredients. You can substitute and mix and mingle ingredients and make your own kind of biscotti, as long as you only change out the tea, or don't use apple mint, or use a different zest instead of lime. There's many. The sky's the limit. The only thing that limits you is yourself and your imagination. So let's get busy. Now, in this bowl, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of salt. Now, I'm going to use, this is the, if you watch the video, this is the lime zest from making the extract. And I'm going to want a tablespoon of it. Oh, y'all, that smells so good. Now, you don't have dried lime zest, you can use orange zest. You can use lemon zest. It's up to you, or you can leave it out. So mix that in real good. I'm going to set that aside. Now here comes the fun part. Of course, this is going to be Junior's biscotti. So I'm using his decaffeinated green tea. You can use any flavor of tea that you like. You can use gunpowder green tea. You can use any celestial seasoning tea you like. Now, the reason I'm putting it in a mortar, and going to use mortar and pestle, is you want to make sure that these pieces, these tea leaves, are like a powder. If you like the cold brew tea, you can use that. You could, if you want to, use medicinal tea. And that way you can enjoy your medicinal tea. There's many different teas you can use. You can use jasmine tea. You can use, oh man, it goes on and on. Earl Grey is another good one. You could use Earl Grey in here. And use orange zest, which would be really good together. Or you could use lemon zest. The sky is the limit. Like I said, you're the only one that limits what's in your tea biscotti. Yes. And what you're going to want is to end up with 6 teaspoons of your tea, whichever tea mix you use. I already had one opened up in here to see how fine it was. I'm not going to have to do much powdering to it because it's fairly powdered. And this is just straight out decaffeinated green tea. Alright, I'm going to clean my mess up and I'll bring y'all right back. Okay, and I also want to mention before I forget it, the oven is preheated to 350 degrees. Like I said, I'm not going to have to do much powdering to this tea because it's fairly powdered. You want it as powdery as possible. And any tea, you can use any tea that you like. as long as you have 6 teaspoons of the tea. Any Bigelow tea, any Celestial Seasonings tea, any um, any cold brew teas you like. And that is pretty much powdered up. And all you're going to do is pour it in there. And you can see that that is very well powdered. Oh, another one you could use if you don't want to go through this step and you can have caffeine, you could do matcha powder. Okay, and that was 6 teaspoons of tea of your choice. It could be caffeine-free tea. It could be caffeinated tea. It's up to you. Now, this next edition was Junior's idea. Oh, this smells so good, y'all. Smells so good. And this is thanks to Jay. They sent Junior some beautiful, beautiful apple mint. And you want 2 tablespoons of mint. This happens to be the fine rubbed apple mint. Now, if you don't want to use apple mint, you can use peppermint. You could use spearmint, chocolate mint, candy cane mint, orange mint, Kentucky kernel mint, or no mint at all. I'm going to tell you, this smells so good, y'all. Okay, now that is all for the dry ingredients for now. Now we're going to work on our wet ingredients. Hold on just a minute. Okay, we have 1/3 of a cup of melted butter. Please use real butter. And I've let it cool down. And to this, I'm going to add 3 large eggs. And of course, I'll have the recipe in the description box below. Now, I'm going to get this mixed up real well. Okay, now to this, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of cane sugar. And you want to just mix it until it's mixed very well. Now we're going to mix it into our dry ingredients. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could do dehydrated, like dehydrated cherries, dehydrated cranberries. You could spearmint, like dried figs, dried dates, but you need to snip them into small pieces to make sure that it gets distributed through the whole batch. I'm going to tell you, this smells so good, y'all. It's a little wet. So I'm probably going to add a little bit more flour to it because you don't want it real wet. Yep, I'm going to grab just a little bit more flour. Hold on a minute. Okay, I've added about a quarter of a cup more of flour. I said you want a dough, but you don't want it sticky or real moist. You want it to be a little tacky, but not much. You won't be able to work it without it sticking all to you. And if it's real moist, it's going to spread, and you're going to have really long, skinny biscotti, which is not a good thing. I'm telling you, you can smell the apple mint. You can smell the lime zest. Oh, it smells so good, y'all. You want to make sure you get all of that. Oh, it smells so good. And see, now it's not as sticky, and it's a little bit, not much. You just want to keep working with it. Don't want to work too much, but you want to make sure everything is blended well together. And yes, your biscotti will be green colored, especially if you use green tea. Alright, now that's starting to look a whole lot better. Now you want to grab your cookie sheet. That is, good gracious. I should have moved everything first, but oh well, we're going to roll with it. You want parchment paper lined cookie sheet. This one's going to make just a little bit more biscotti than the chocolate one. You want to have it about an inch thick. You don't want it too flat, because then you'll have some really flat biscotti. Junior is patiently waiting for his biscotti. I baked mine, then I made dinner, and now I'm working on his. Okay, you want to make sure that it's at least an inch thick. You don't want it real thin, because that'll cause you to have to eat a couple of pieces instead of one. Okay, now, like I said, 350-degree oven. This one's a little more different. We're going to bake this for 40 minutes. Keep an eye on it, because everybody's ovens are different. It'll puff up some. If it starts turning a little too golden brown, see if it feels ready. If it feels ready, bring it out. Start keeping an eye on it at the 30-minute mark. So I'm going to clean my mess up. I'm going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees for 40 minutes. Start keeping an eye on it at the 30-minute mark. And I'll bring y'all back. See you after a while. Okay, it is done baking. It baked for the full 40 minutes. It's a little thin, but that's fine. Not going to change how good it tastes. I'm going to let it cool for 15 minutes. Bring y'all back, and we're going to slice it. And we'll start the second process for making the green tea apple mint lime biscotti. I'll see y'all back here in 15 minutes. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. Now remember, the pan and the biscotti's still going to be warm. I forgot about that being there. Leave your parchment paper on your cookie sheet. And gently remove the biscotti from your pot holder. Okay, now, if you don't want to make the dry, hard biscotti, you can stop it here. Now, I'm going to give Junior a soft piece because that's what he's been waiting on. But the rest I'm going to cut up and put in the oven to dry. You want to go about 1 inch wide pieces. You don't have to be OCD. Don't worry about it. Look at that. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? Oh, and it smells so good. Let me get Junior a piece cut here. And I'll be right back. He's watching me. Well, Junior's a happy camper. I'm going to cheat and cut me a small piece off. Put it to the side because he doesn't want a cup of tea to go with his. And I've still got my coffee to finish, so I'm going to try it here in a bit. Oh, these are so pretty. So pretty. And like I said, if you don't want to dry them out, you don't have to. Just let them cool and put them in either an airtight container or a Ziploc baggie and store them in your fridge. But if you do the drying process, it'll have a shelf life and it can go into a glass container. Oh, I'm telling y'all, it smells good. And somehow I got cattywampus. Now, I've left the oven going at 350. Oh, he smells so good, y'all. Oh, you can smell the lime. You can smell the apple mint. You can kind of smell the green tea. You want to give them plenty of room so they can dry. Alright, now, I'm going to put these, I don't know where my small pot holder went to. You can put these back in the oven. And what you're going to do is at 350 degrees, you're going to let them, grabbing too much. There we go. You're going to let them dry for time it for 10 minutes. And then once the 10 minutes is over, you're going to pull your tray out and you're going to flip them and dry them 10 more minutes. And I'll bring y'all right back. Okay, they have done the 20 minutes. They're still a little soft, but I think it's just because they just come out of the oven, and as they sit here and cool, they're going to harden up more. Now, if yours is not as dry as you like, it would be best for this one because it's getting really brown and crusty to put them in a dehydrator to fully dry them. Now, I'm going to taste it now because this is before I done the double bake on them. And Junior highly enjoyed his biscotti because it's caffeine free and he can have it without any problems. Oh, you can smell the apple mint. You can smell the lime zest. You can taste the apple mint. A hint of lime. Oh, that is so good. Nothing's overpowering. It's just a light hint. You can taste the mint. It's not overly strong. That's delightful. That is going to be so delicious with your morning tea, afternoon tea, evening tea. These would make great gifts since it's Christmas coming up. It's absolutely delicious, simple, easy, homemade, and you know exactly what's going into it. And like I said, any kind of herbal tea you can use. You can use apple mint, spearmint, chocolate mint, peppermint, any mint that you like. You can leave the mint out. Any herbal tea, caffeinated, uncaffeinated. This would be great gifts for those who cannot have caffeine. I said if you wanted to, you could add fine diced dehydrated fruits like blueberries. Cherries would be great. Cranberries, you name it. You could put nuts in it if you wanted to. And I'll have the recipe in the description box below. Just change whatever tea that you want to use. Just make sure you use the 2 teaspoons of powdered tea. Um, any mint, you can leave mint out if you wanted to. You could put lavender in it. Hint, another video coming out later. Um, you can add nuts, don't add nuts. Dried fruit, don't add dry fruit. You can make this so many different ways and it'd be all delicious. I hope this video encourages you to also make your own herbal tea or tea biscotti. Homemade, delicious, and healthy. I look forward to seeing y'all in my next video. Continue to stock up foods in your pantry that will sustain and nourish you. This biscotti, as long as you make sure that it's completely dry, you can vacuum seal it in jars, and yeah, it will have a long shelf life until you eat it all. Continue to stock up medicinals that will heal you, which you could use medicinal herbal tea in this recipe too. Protection of all kinds, as well as the bare essentials to survive on. Everyone take care, stay safe and sound, and warm in this cold weather. Y'all, may you each be blessed. Hoot, hoot. Love y'all. See you soon.